Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is presented by Team Wisdomio, and in this video I will walk you through the concept of homeostasis. The contents of this video include the definition of homeostasis, its variables, its components, its types, the organ systems maintaining homeostasis, how our body systems maintain homeostasis, and its importance as well as disruption. As we know, we are living in an environment that is constantly undergoing change. We eat a variety of food and in various proportions. These imbalances should disturb our body's normal functioning, but they don't. Have you ever thought why? The answer to this is homeostasis, that keeps the internal environment of our body stable and steady despite the fluctuations in the external environment. We can define homeostasis as the state of steady or nearly constant internal, physical and chemical conditions maintained by living systems to attain their optimal functioning. Thus, homeostasis is an undeniable need of every organism for its survival and sustenance. Now, let's take an example. Consider Mr. Simpson running in a marathon. While running, he is respiring anaerobically, so his blood carbon dioxide concentration increases. That lowers blood pH, making it acidic. Moreover, his body temperature rises, levels of water and glucose decline, heartbeat increases along with increase in his blood pressure. These physical and chemical quantities that are subject to change are termed as variables, and body carries out adequate homeostatic mechanisms to counter these changes, shifting them back to their set values. Some important variables include body temperature, which is normally kept at 37 degrees Celsius but can vary under different physiological and environmental conditions. pH of blood, that lies between 7.35 to 7.45 under normal conditions but can shift to either acidic or basic side, causing various complications. Water levels in body, that vary depending upon its intake and excretion. Blood pressure variations that can lead to fatal consequences if not regulated properly and timely. The levels of acids, bases, glucose, and various essential oils that also tend to vary in body. Like every system has its components, body's homeostatic system is also composed of three components. These are the receptors, control center, and effectors. Each homeostatic mechanism has its own set of structures that function as receptor, control center, and effector for that particular mechanism. Now, let's have a detailed look at these homeostatic components one by one. At first, any change disrupting homeostasis called stimulus that occurs inside the body or in the external environment is sensed by specific structures of body called receptors. These receptors generate action potentials and relay this information to the control centers of the body. Receptors can be bare endings of axons underlying the skin or in the form of cellular granules like mechanoreceptors that sense pressure and touch stimuli, thermoreceptors that monitor declined or elevated body temperatures, and pain receptors that detect sensations of pain when some body tissue gets injured. The nerve impulses from receptors are received by the control center. Here, these impulses are integrated, compared with the already set values of the concerned variable, and then output commands are generated as action potentials or hormones to compensate for that change. The control center of our body is the central nervous system, involving brain and spinal cord that regulate all body activities. The third and final component of homeostatic system is the effector, that receives output signals from control center and produces responses to normalize the altered variable. The effectors may include muscles and glands that produce movements and secretions respectively to bring the change back to normal. Each homeostatic mechanism is responsible for the regulation of a specific variable, on the basis of which homeostasis is classified into three categories: thermoregulation, osmoregulation, and the chemical regulation. Thermoregulation involves the homeostatic processes maintaining the core temperature of body. For example, when heat receptors detect raised body temperature, they send signals to the brain which activates the effector sweat glands in skin and sweat response is produced. On the other hand, when cold receptors sense declined body temperature, they relay signals to the brain that in turn activates the effector muscles in skin, producing shivering response. Osmoregulation involves the processes that balance water and salt concentrations, thus maintaining a constant osmotic pressure in the internal environment of body. For example, when water levels in body are low, the corresponding receptors send message to the brain that stimulates release of antidiuretic hormone, causing maximum water retention from kidney nephrons. Chemical regulation is a broad category of homeostasis that involves the processes for balancing concentrations of various chemicals through hormones. Precisely speaking, it involves the maintenance of acid-base equilibrium in the blood, the homeostasis of glucose, calcium ions, extracellular fluid of various regions like cerebrospinal fluid in the CNS, pleural fluid around the lungs, pericardial fluid surrounding heart, etc., and blood pressure. Homeostasis is maintained in the body by means of collaboration of various organ systems of body. These include the cardiovascular system involving the heart and blood vessels, respiratory system involving the lungs, nervous system including both the central as well as peripheral nervous systems involving the nerves that supply all regions of body, endocrine system involving glands that take part in homeostasis by producing hormones, gastrointestinal system involving the organs of alimentary canal, particularly liver, excretory system involving the kidneys, skeletal system that are the main organs of movement, integumentary system involving the largest organ of body, skin, reproductive system, and the immune system involving the white blood cells. Generally, body systems help to maintain homeostasis in 6 different ways. These are extracellular fluid transport and mixing, origin of nutrients in extracellular fluid, removal of metabolic end products, regulation of body functions, protection of body, and last but not the least, reproduction. Transport of extracellular fluid is carried out by the blood circulatory system. When blood flows from arterioles into the capillaries, large amounts of fluid and its dissolved contents diffuse from the blood into the interstitial fluid outside capillaries. This is mediated by the permeability of one cell thick endothelium of capillaries. In this way, all the blood in circulatory system travels the entire circulatory circuit once every minute at rest and 6 times during exercise. Another way of maintaining homeostasis is by adding nutrients directly into the blood. Respiratory system. Each time we inhale air, it is exchanged with the blood in alveoli through the very thin alveolar membrane. During this exchange, oxygen from the air in alveoli diffuses into the blood and is transported to all body cells. Gastrointestinal tract. Blood flows through the walls of alimentary canal. In the small intestine, there are finger-like projections called villi that are surrounded by capillaries. From here, the absorbed nutrients including carbohydrates, amino acids, minerals, etc. are added into the blood. Liver. Some absorbed nutrients require changes in their chemical composition to become functional, such as the glycoproteins or glycolipids. So, after these modifications, liver adds them directly into the blood. Moreover, it also adds waste products and toxic substances into the blood for their removal. Skeletal system. Skeletal system plays role in homeostasis by providing motility that is required by the body in order to obtain food. Removal of metabolic end products is carried out by the following. Respiratory system. Carbon dioxide is diffused from blood into the alveoli during exchange of gases, and consequently it is removed from the body by expiration. Kidneys. Blood is filtered in the glomerular capillaries of kidneys, leaving urea, and the useful substances are again reabsorbed, uric acid, excess water and ions in the filtrate that is removed from the body as urine. Gastrointestinal tract. The food materials that remain undigested and metabolic wastes are removed from the body in the form of feces. Liver. Various drugs are detoxified in the liver, and these detoxified drugs and chemicals are also eliminated in feces. All body functions are regulated by either the nervous system or the endocrine system. Nervous system. The nervous system perceives stimulus through the sensory organs, eyes, ears, nose, etc. This stimulus is then transferred to the central nervous system, which determines reactions in response to the sensations. The autonomic nervous system operates functions of internal organs at the subconscious level. Endocrine system. There are 8 major endocrine glands in the body that produce hormones to regulate the body activities. For example, pancreas produces insulin hormone when blood glucose level rises and glucagon hormone when it drops. Similarly, when calcium level reduces in blood, parathyroid hormone is produced by the parathyroid gland to normalize it. And when it is increased, calcitriol is produced by thyroid gland to reduce it to its normal level. The immune system and the integumentary system are responsible for the protection of body that is also important to balance body's internal environment. Immune system. Immune system mainly comprises of the white blood cells including T lymphocytes as well as B lymphocytes such as bacteria, viruses, parasites and fungi either by phagocytosis that is engulfing and digesting the foreign particle or by producing antibodies that destroy or neutralize the invader molecules. Integumentary system. Skin and the associated structures such as hair, nails, glands, etc. cover and protect the deeper tissues and generally provide a barrier between body's internal environment and the outside world. Reproduction. Reproduction is sometimes not considered a homeostatic function, but it helps maintaining homeostasis by generating new human beings to replace those that are dying. Importance of homeostasis. Homeostasis is very crucial for an organism's survival. This can be understood by the fact that enzymes require optimal conditions for their proper functioning, and optimal conditions in body are maintained by homeostasis. Disruption of homeostasis. Disruption of homeostasis means that the body cannot compensate for any change of variable occurring in the body. It leads to the state of disease. This disruption can be due to internal factors such as aging or some abnormality that is passed on in genetics of a person. Environment affects homeostasis when body is exposed to any toxic substance in the environment, such as exposure to ozone or chlorofluorocarbons. External factors affect homeostasis if the person is not taking all the essential nutrients in required proportions, drugs, and alcohol abuse. Disease can be deficiency of a variable or it can be toxicity or excess of a particular variable that is damaging the normal body mechanisms maintaining homeostasis. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you like it. Do not forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any update from our channel in the future.